Hi, I'm Calivan, and today we're going to look at a fusion opener for new players looking to have a go at the eco spot on some of the more structured team multiplayer maps like Glitters. This is a rather safe fusion option. Obviously the term safe is relative, so the idea behind this is that we'll be building in such a way that it doesn't make us incredibly vulnerable to unexpected circumstances, and it leaves us room to adapt to an unfolding situation. This means that we won't be self-destructing our commander and harvesting his metal. We won't be reclaiming our T2 lab, and we won't be heading for an immediate and early advanced fusion reactor, or afus. There are other builds that do that. Those builds are very cool. But since this guide is for beginners, then let's keep it simple. To understand why we choose this strategy, we need to look at the pros and cons of the things we've already mentioned. Some people use a build that requires them to sacrifice their commander in order to get access to 1250 metal very early on in the game. This can be very powerful, but it's not without its downsides. Firstly, we must think about what our commander actually is in the early game. He's a powerful combat unit, a mobile radar, a metal extractor, a solar collector, and 3 or 4 construction bots all rolled into one. Sacrificing our commander is not something we should do unless we have a watertight plan for it. The first reason is obvious. It leaves us defenseless. I know we've got frontliners to protect us, but you can't stop everything from getting through all of the time, and if you've not got a commander, 1 or 2 light bots in the back of your base can be catastrophic. Perhaps you have ultimate faith in your teammates. So let's look at the other side of the commander. He provides 2 metal and 25 energy per second and 300 build power. Now let's do some comparisons with those figures. If we sacrifice our commander, over the next 5 minutes we'll be down 600 metal and 750 energy. We'll also need to reclaim him, so we've got to build a Lazarus. We'll also need to replace the build power, so we've got to build 3 construction bots. In that 5-minute period, we've gained 1250 metal, but we've lost 1060 metal and a whopping 13,700 energy. If we expand that 5-minute period over to 8 minutes, then it's even less favourable. We'll be down an extra 360 metal and 4,500 energy. Does this mean that it's never worth sacrificing your commander? No, of course not. But it does mean that unless you've got a very specific plan that hinges on a large injection of metal in the opening phases of a game, then it's probably best to keep him around. I also mentioned that we won't be going straight for an afus, and we won't be reclaiming our T2 lab. Keeping our advanced lab gives us 2 advantages. Firstly, we can use it to provide T2 constructors for all of our teammates. And secondly, if we suddenly need to produce some units to support a rapidly collapsing front line, we can. The afus thing is a slightly more complex calculation. It's very true that on a metal per point of energy generation, the afus is more efficient. 3 fusion reactors costs us 12,900 metal, while an afus only costs us 9,700. However, there are 2 big buts in this equation: build cost and return on investment. It costs 310,000 build power to finish an afus, but only 210,000 for 3 standard fusion reactors. This means that we only need 2/3 of the amount of construction units to complete it in the same time, saving us both metal and energy. With the afus, we also don't get any return until the whole thing is 100% complete. But by choosing to build 3 fusions, we start getting some payback after each one is complete. We can start converting this into metal pretty sharpish. With a couple of advanced converters, we would have easily generated an extra 1800 metal before the last fusion reactor is complete, which almost entirely offsets the difference in cost. The massive benefit of this build is our steady growth gives us the opportunities to adapt to what else is happening in the rest of the game. If our front line is falling and we've got 2/3 of an afus complete, there's nothing whatsoever we can do to help. If we've got 2 fusions complete and a T2 lab, we can take a break from eco and pump out some units to help our team. Sure, it will slow us down, but that's a far better alternative than just losing the game, and our intervention could easily shift the balance of power and force the other team onto the back foot. So, let's look at the build in detail. Okay, so this is our regular eco spot, so we're going to start here. Let's click us down. Now we're going to need a couple of metal extractors. Let's put them down. Then we're going to need some sort of solar power now. There we go, let's put that down. We're going to need another metal extractor. And we're going to want to do probably another solar panel. Then we'll do a bot lab, and then we'll do one more solar collector. Done. Okay, so let's play that out.
Battle started.
We're not going to go for hyper precision here. This is a new player guide and it kind of works. So, timing's not exactly 1,000,000% precise, so we're just going to go with it. So we're going to just adopt the mindset of look at our metal and look at our energy. What we want to do is not run out of either. So whenever that might happen, that will generally dictate what we do next. So the reason we get one solar out before we get our third metal extractor is because if we didn't, we'd run out of energy. And the same with the second solar collector. If we didn't get one, then we'd run out of energy before our bot lab's complete, and we don't want that. We're going to use solar rather than wind because this is supposed to be a safe build, and I think we should probably avoid early wind in a safe build because, look at the wind right now. It's gone down to 2.5. If we were doing wind turbines here, we'd be really struggling, but we're not because we've gone solars. Let's get a couple of construction bots out. Now, we are going to use wind, but we're just going to open with solar just because it makes the start a lot safer and easier. And then once this is done, we're going to rush this bot out. And then when this bot's done, it's going to come down here and build that. Then it's going to come back. We're going to queue up to recycle the bot lab. Now that's done, our commander is going to go grab these 2 metal spots. We're going to build a second bot here. When that one's done, it is going to eat the bot lab. And then it's going to go and build a T2 bot lab somewhere up here out of the way, nice like that. Because there's nothing else going on for you, you won't have to worry about the front line or anything like that at this point. You've got plenty of time to make sure these things are going. And it's fine to queue things up just so you don't forget them. So, bot builds this, goes back, eats that, and then what he's going to do is he's going to build 9 wind turbines. That means these 2 bots are just going to look after themselves for quite a time and we can just worry about our commander. Let's also get out a couple of pawns. Now I know we don't technically need them, but it is safe. So we're going to start building windmills and we're going to build 2 pawns. Now the reason we're going to build them is because we can, and also you never know, maybe there's something going to rush through from the front line, maybe there's a couple of ticks we have to deal with. So we're going to just get 2 pawns out, and we've got plenty of time to do that before we run out of, before we finish eating our construction of our bot lab. This also means that we can get our third construction bot to give to our air player if we need to. When this is done, we're going to actually start capping out on energy, which is really bad because we don't want to waste energy. So as soon as that's happened, we're going to build ourselves an energy storage. We'll put our bots on a little patrol over here, just like that. There we go. So now we've got a couple of pawns, so if something does slip through at this early point in the game, we're cool. Once this is done, we are going to come back and we're going to build some more wind turbines. Now we want to build around 33. Now notice that our wind has gone to absolute rubbish again, but because we've got 3 solar panels, which gives us a total of 60, each bot gives us 7, that's 67, and the commander gives us 25, so we've still got a decent amount of income for this stage of the game, even though our wind power has gone to absolute rubbish. But it's not, so that means we can crack on and we're not going to be penalised too hard because we went for the solar option. So yeah, we want about 33 wind turbines in total. So we're just going to keep building these with our commander and with our construction bot while this guy gets the T2 lab up. Now, I don't like spacing these outloads because I find it takes too much space, too much walking around. I just don't like it, but I will build gaps between blocks of them just in case something gets damaged somehow, and I don't want there to be like a catastrophic collapse of my entire economy. So, although I won't put any spacing between them, I'll tend to build something like 15 in a block and then build a second block slightly further away just to limit any potential damage. Now remember what we said, we don't want to run out of metal and we don't want to run out of energy, but nor do we want to really go over the amount of energy we've got so far. And it looks like things are creeping up. So what we're going to do is we're going to, after this next wind turbine, we're going to build another storage because we're going to need a lot of energy soon, but we don't need it right now. Now, we could build energy converters, and if the wind had been really good from the start, I might have built 1 or 2, but it just wasn't good enough to warrant it. But we are running out of metal now, and we don't really want to delay our bot lab too much. So when this is done, we're going to stop building these, and we're going to eat up our solar collectors. The wind's fixed itself now, so that won't be a problem for us. So we're going to eat these 2 solar collectors, and that means we can build more wind turbines and we don't stall out on our advanced bot lab. So let's queue up another 6 of these. We'll also queue up our advanced construction bot because we can, and we don't want to forget it when that's done. Now, we've currently got 27. That's going to give us 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33. So that's about the number I like. We do notice, though, we've got quite a lot of energy. So what we're going to do is we're just going to put down 1 energy converter. Just 1, because we don't want to go overboard. We don't want to use loads of our energy. And like is happening right now, the wind is going down, so we might not even get to use it. But we're just going to put 1 down just so we don't waste all of that energy. Now we're actually going to run out of metal here. So what we're going to do is we're going to stop building that. We're going to come over and we're going to eat this solar collector instead. Then we're going to tell this guy to build the last 2 over here. You'll see we're not being massively precise here because the thing with wind, we don't really know what's going to happen. So we have to play it by ear a little bit. Now we've got a bit more metal to spare. We're going to bring our commander down and we're going to come and help this guy. Just get these last 2 done. There we go, with a tiny bit of metal to spare just to start building that. So that's all good. Now we're going to move this guy up here because we'll need him in a minute later. We're going to look at our wind and we're like, oh, we've got quite a lot of energy. But you notice we're actually using quite a lot at the moment. But I think we're going to just risk it and just put 1 more converter down. Only because the wind's really strong and we've got loads saved up. Otherwise we wouldn't bother. Now it'd be tempting to build this advanced metal extractor here first like that, but we're not going to. The reason is we don't have enough metal to finish it for all this build power we've got. So rather than sit there for ages not doing much, we're going to come down here and use that time to do a bit of walking. That will let our metal build up a bit, and that means we'll be able to finish the metal extractor about the same time, but we would have already done this walk. Got a little bit left over, so we're also going to start our construction turrets, and we're going to put the first one here. Now it's just focusing on getting these done. The wind's being quite kind to us, but we do have 13k of it saved up, just in case we have problems. So let's move this construction bot over, get the next one done while this finishes off, because he's slow as hell. And then we'll move him up here. So you see, the reason I'm not using this construction bot to help is I just don't have the metal to support it. I'm already using more than I'm earning. It'll be a bit different once I've got 2 or 3 of these constructed, because then my income will be a lot higher. But if I did that, I'd have problems. Also, I'm not building any more converters because I've only just about got the energy support for the ones I'm running. And as the wind dips, I'm now actually going into a deficit. So that would just be a waste. Let's get these done. And hopefully our construction turret will finish now and give us a hand. Because now we've got more metal coming in, we'll be able to actually build a bit quicker. Now we're using more metal than we've got, but we've got a little bit stashed, so that'll all be fine. We are going to build another couple of construction turrets, but not quite yet, because it's more important we get these metal extractors done. We're not building any more energy generation because we don't want to. We don't need to. This is what we need. We need about 33 wind turbines, so that's what we're going to build, and then we're not going to build any more. You'll see this uses quite a lot of energy getting all these up and running. So that's why we've not gone with many converters, because we just wouldn't be able to power them, so it would have been a waste. Now we're going to start our slow walk over here, and in the meantime we're going to get another couple of construction turrets up. We're going to use these guys to help it to boost it along quickly as well. They can't do anything until that gets there anyway, so instead of walking slow over there, we're going to use these guys to get the turrets up quick, and then they can help finish that off in a hurry. So when that's done, we're going to walk over here. We'll let the turrets finish that off. We've got lots of metal and lots of energy, so we're going to treat ourselves to a butler as well to help things along. If we didn't have good wind and we didn't have lots of energy stockpiled, we would not do that. But we do, so we can, and we will. And we get this up, and we can bring our butler to come and help. And now we don't want our turrets sitting idle, because when they're idle, they're not earning their keep. So what we're going to do is start our fusion reactor just about now, once this butler's out of the way. That means that our turrets aren't sitting there doing nothing, which is good. We are using a lot of energy at the moment, but that's mostly because of the advanced metal extractor. Once that's done, we'll be doing a bit better on that. Let's move all these bots into a better place so they don't get all on each other's way. Now you'll see we're actually using a lot more metal than we're earning, so we don't need all of this build power. So what we're going to do is, once this is half done, we know that we've got enough energy saved up to finish it. So that means we can start reclaiming our wind turbines because quite a lot of metal went into them. So we're going to use our butler to start reclaiming them. Because even if we suddenly got rid of them or the wind died, the fact we've got 11k power saved up means we can definitely finish the fusion. We're still running into metal problems, so we're going to take our commander off because we don't need his build power. He can help the butler get rid of all these wind turbines. Let's just queue all of them up. We won't need them. So this is looking good. So we're going to move our bot over here now because this is going to finish soon and we have stuff for him. So we're going to put him here and he's going to build another, what's that? 7 construction turrets. While the turrets are busy with that, we're going to use our other bot and our advanced construction bot to come and start getting our first advanced metal converter up. We want to use these because they give us better return and we'll need them in the long run anyway. Now these turrets are going to jump on and finish that pretty quickly, so we're going to come down and get ready to build our second fusion reactor here. So that's only going to take 8 seconds, and that's going to give us an extra 10 energy a second, or 10.3 energy per second, because we've got enough power to support it. But what we have when it will finish. And now all of these things can get going. We're going to tell our commander to eat one of our storages, because we don't need all that storage anymore, because we've got reliable energy. So the commander's going to eat that, and that'll give us a bit of extra metal, because you see we're burning through our metal. Now, because we've got lots of energy and no metal, what we're going to do is we're going to tell our advanced construction bot to build another advanced energy converter. And we're going to get our bot here to just keep it building so it doesn't stop. And then when we run out of metal, what we're going to do is we're going to grab our turrets and tell it to put some time into this. So when they're building this, each turret only uses a little bit of metal because these things are only 380, but a lot of energy. So while we're doing this, we're progressing this and our metal's going up a bit. Then we can flick them back and put that metal back into the fusion reactor. That stops us from stalling out anywhere. Because that's going to finish soon, we're going to get ready and we're going to queue up our next fusion reactor here. Like that, which is fine. And then we're going to do the same thing. We're going to come over here, we're going to put down another advanced converter and we're going to build that while this stalls out from not having enough power. Meantime, we're reclaiming all these things. That's going quite well. And we're going to tell our turrets, some of our turrets, to come and finish this one off. Bot can help with that. This bot can come round with that. And they've got rid of all those windmills, so we've got lots of nice space to play with, which is good. Can leave these down here. Let's bring this bot down. We'll bring our advanced bot over, and now we can finish off our fusion reactor. We can slide this down to the bottom, so we get a bit of extra metal income from our storage. And this should be done around 14 minutes into the game. The amount of time it takes is just dependent on how precise you are, how the wind is. But once that's done, we're in a good position. So now what we can do is we can just do what we want from this point. We've got a good start. I like to build my anti-nuke up next, get that going. I also like to build a intrusion detection system because that's nice to have. Once that's going, I'm going to get an extra energy converter on the go, which I'll probably put up here. The reason I've got this gap here is basically if the energy converters blow up, they won't kill your construction turrets. You need a gap of 2 energy converters. As long as they're 2 apart, they won't blow up anything else. So that's all looking good now. And then, yeah, from here you can just go with what you like. We're about 15 minutes in the game. We've got loads of energy coming in. We've got a decent amount of conversion. Our anti-nuke's up. We're reasonably well protected. And if everything's going fine on our front line, all we can do now is just go straight into building our afus. So we can just put one up there, and then we can just play it by ear. We've got plenty of metal. We're using more than we are making. So, I know, let's have a look what that's up. No, we're not making enough, so that's fine. So we can just put down some more construction turrets here. We can just use our construction bot for that. And then also, sometimes I like to just build out a little bit. Maybe I'll get a couple of anti-air towers in case a few bombers manage to get past the air defense. We can get these guys to help out with that. And there you go. Yeah, you should get there in about 14 minutes. I think the best I've done, if the wind was really, really favourable, was about 13 minutes 45. And that's to having 3 fusion reactors and also 3 advanced energy converters. So you should have that around 14 minutes, a little bit before. 3 fusions, 3 advanced energy converters. That puts you in a really strong position to move into the next part of the game. You can also check and see what your front line's doing. If they're having problems, rather than going straight into your advanced fusion, you've got your T2 lab up, so you can use that to start chucking out some hounds or some recluse or whatever that works for you to go and back the front line up. Or if the front line is doing fine, just start going into the next group of afus. Well, I hope that helps. If you've got any questions, then just let me know in the comments. Thanks. Ta-ra.